If it makes you money or brings us happiness, you'll find it right here. This is The Purple Tie Show. Welcome, I'm Robert Martin.
And I am Blake Singleton.
Together we are
Purple Tie Guys.
So,
man, we planned that. It went smooth.
We did not.
I'm kidding. We don't plan anything.
So on today's episode, I want to talk about a couple things, and we'll see how far down the list we get. So I want to talk about. So I'm looking at maybe getting a Mac Mini, so that.
We're kind of, I don't want to say we're computer poor right now, but we have a dedicated computer specifically for looking stuff up on the internet.
We really do. So we are computer poor, but I feel like, and it's one of the notes in here, working on the did you take it out? No, Mac Mini and working on a 49-inch TV. Like that is my goal.
Where is that? I've got it. Oh, there it is. Okay.
That is like 4 down from the top. And if this happens, we will discuss the pros and cons and all that kind of stuff. But I have been looking at the 2012 version because you can upgrade it.
Right.
It's the last version that you can upgrade, and it's really. It's not going to be a power horse, computer where I'm doing...
Power horse?
Power horse?
I just caught that.
Powerhouse? Power...
Got lots of horsepower.
Anyway, this is the Ford Mustang of computers.
Is it a V6
or
no,
is it a V8? It's the 4-cylinder EcoBoost.
The 4-cylinder Mustang. Man.
Yeah. Anyway, you can't be a bad beep man with a 4-cylinder.
Beep.
Beep.
Can't be a bad beep.
But this guy, I've been watching a lot of Mac Mini reviews and, the 2012 and upgrades, and you can do the memory and all that other stuff. And so I was watching this thing, and this guy is like, I'm going to explain what I like about the Mac Mini, and then in a separate video, I'm going to describe what I don't like about the Mac Mini.
Okay, all right. I need to comment on this because, I watched it too. And
I thought I nailed the voice just perfect.
You did, first of all.
I mean,
Dude looked like they had ripped him straight out of 1998. And
Steve Urkel glasses and everything.
No, he didn't have Urkel glasses, but he had some messed up hair and some messed up teeth. But he looked like...
Oh, he was the one that talked through his mouthpiece.
I was waiting for you to just stop and be like, he's the one that talked through his mouth.
Peace.
But he looked like they had ripped him straight out of 1998, and he had not used an Apple product since the mid-90s or something like that. 30
years or 20 years or something, yeah.
And I feel like he is not their target audience.
No, and so he kept, so he's like, this review is going to be all the things that I like about it. And he went on and on about the simplicity of the operating system and how things bounced while they were loading. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you're a moron. But he talked about, easily swapping, applications, and they were easy to find, and that the launcher is what the Windows, would you not do that? You got me. How Launchpad was what the Windows Start menu should have been with, and you even said, you were like, I agree with that.
Yeah, I did.
And he kept saying, if they sold the Mac OS as a standalone system, I'd buy it. If they sold the OS as a standalone system, I'd buy it. And this was over and over and over, and he was like, the graphics was great, and this was great, and the games that run on it is amazing. But you can't play games on it. But I'm not going to get into that in this video. And he kept saying, all the things he liked about it. He liked the fact that it was upgradable. He liked the fact that, solid state hard drive. He liked the fact that you could put 16 gigs of RAM or 32 or whatever it maxes out at, and that it was user serviceable and blah, 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 blah. And it just looked stunning on a 4K display, and just pained me to watch this. And then the things I hate.
I just want to point out one thing before you get into the things that I hate. This video was 9 minutes and some seconds long.
Yeah,
the good things video was like 9 minutes and some seconds long. The I hate this about Mac video was almost double that.
And was only one major complaint.
Yeah.
His whole complaint was you can't play games, and the games that say they're for it are in wrappers, and the wrappers are broke, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why are you sticking a male who sings in there? Like, he kept saying a rapper, not a rapper like paper.
Oh my God, that's a terrible joke. That is just an awful joke.
It's a rapper.
No.
Why would you shove an M&M in a Mac Mini?
So many levels of bad right there. I want to remind the people listening that this is about a Mac Mini. This is the bottom of the line Mac product. This is a step above an iPad.
I was looking at a brand new one today. Brand new one. And it's $1,000. Well, it was $699.
It's $700 if you go base.
Oh no, it's less than that. It's $499 if you go base. $699 if you go with like a terabyte hard drive.
$499.
Yeah, $499 base.
That's
what ticked me off about the one I was looking at online.
That's impressive.
I can buy a brand spanking new without keyboard and mouse, which I have a keyboard
and a mouse.
I can buy a brand new one for $499, or a really nice one with a terabyte hard drive and like maxed out on RAM. And the only problem is it's an i5,
right?
Not an i7 processor.
Okay, can I just stop you right there for just a second?
Sure. This has turned into a whole different topic.
So we talked about this before briefly, but the difference between the Mac products and a Windows-based product is the fact that Mac hardware is optimized for the software and vice versa.
Right.
It's not a Windows on a PC type of deal where you've got a million different variations of hardware to make this one piece of software work on.
True.
And optimized. This goes back to before the days of everyone screaming Mac PC. This goes back to Intel versus AMD.
It does.
Because the Intel processors always said they were leaps and bounds as far as processing speed faster than the AMD processors. But the AMD processors were optimized, and so they ran slower. So what's better, an optimized, slower running CPU or a faster, raw-powered CPU?
Well, and I don't even think that really matters, because I kind of feel like you're comparing oranges to apples. You're welcome.
I want the people on the podcast to see this face.
You're welcome.
Oh my God, that was awful.
It was so good.
No crap, it is. It's $4.99. I didn't believe you. Just saying that out loud.
Yeah, but to look at the upgraded model with a terabyte hard drive, it's $699. I mean, It's almost not worth buying a used one, but the new one you can't upgrade. Like, that ain't happening.
What upsets me about this is the fact that it is only dual core. That is obscene in this day and age.
Well, you also got to think about this, though. That Mac Mini is, how many years old now? Like,
oh, well, this one's 4 years old. They
Yeah.
haven't updated it
that's
since
what I'm
2014.
saying. It's like 4 years old. So and we're going to talk about this on the 30th. We're having an Apple thing happen. Not us personally.
Yes, us personally.
So,
we're putting on this Apple
We're
thing.
putting on an Apple event on the 30th. You guys want to tune in for that because we're going to be displaying some new stuff. But back to this dude. This dude was like, oh my God, if they just sold it as a standalone operating system and let me bring my own hardware, oh my God, it'd be so great.
I want you to tell them what he did, because we're discussing the same stuff he was discussing. And he was like, they've got this sleek little box, and I understand that you've got to cram all this stuff in here, but let me show you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This, can I use the word?
I can't.
I can.
Say it, and I'll tell you if you can.
Can I use the word douche canoe?
Yes.
On a PG?
Well, on the internet, you can say whatever in the bleep you want.
Yes, but on Apple,
on a clean podcast,
can I use the word douche canoe?
I believe you can.
So this douche
Those are
canoe,
two products that don't usually go together, but go for it.
This douche canoe had both paddles in the water and brought up a tower PC. Like, we're talking a 4 foot tall. Like,
it wasn't
oh,
that.
It was.
It's
okay.
probably 20,
Okay,
20
so
inches,
20
maybe.
by like.
But you're talking about a
mid-tower.
mid-tower.
Mid-tower out. And he's like, let me show you. This right here has the same thing as this right here, and this was only $300, and he was like...
Well, it was, okay, so, hang on.
Oh, I'm so upset.
Calm down. Breathe. Breaths.
I'm so upset.
This guy brings out this mid-tower, and he said, this is $300 and whatever dollars. And
it comes with a mouse and keyboard. Oh my God.
It comes with a mouse and keyboard. It comes with more RAM, more hard drive space, faster processor, blah, blah, blah. But this thing was all, like, I am not an Apple fanboy like some people, but I can appreciate good design when you see it.
You know, I'm a sheeple. I'll be the first person to admit I am a sheeple.
Week number 2, whenever we're saying that. But my point is, you're talking about a giant hunk of plastic
compared to a beautifully machined aluminum case.
Yes.
And he's like, now I realize that they had to really make things small and compact to get it in this little thing, but I just don't understand. That was his whole thing. I don't understand. And I'm like, what is there not to understand? He's like, it's not even a full hard drive. And I'm like,
now,
you
brought up a great point.
Oh,
you brought up a great point. Hang on. You're just winding yourself up to complain about this guy who doesn't understand the world.
Well, it was, this one has a 7,200 RPM hard drive. And this one only has a 5400.
Oh, I forgot.
And I'm like,
I forgot about that.
I'm like, it's a laptop hard drive. You can't put a full-size hard drive in something as small as the Mac Mini.
So
don't be stupid.
You brought up a very important point while we were discussing this, aka yelling at the TV while we were watching this.
I said things I can't say on this podcast.
That's very true. You brought up the fact that he just praised and praised and praised the OS. How much is that OS worth? How much would you pay for the operating system to have that Macintosh experience?
Instead of,
That's what Mac stands for, by the way, Macintosh.
It's...
Some people don't know that. Some people think it's just Mac.
Mac?
Yeah.
Like the makeup one? Mac. Anyway, so what would you...
Your jokes are really bad today.
They really are. So what would you pay for the Mac experience, right?
Right.
The Mac OS... X. Mojave is beautiful.
Yes.
Like, I love dark mode and all that. It's just amazing. I can't even talk about it. It's so exciting. But what's that worth? Because here's the thing with an Apple product, just like with their phones, just like with their computers, when they're continuously working on improving the OS. And you're going to get the next version of the OS for free.
Right. Back in the day, in the early OS 10 days, you had to pay $20 to upgrade. And I remember you paying...
I did.
At least once, maybe twice, for upgrades to the next version of the operating system. But at the time, when you think about the Windows operating system, you can't purchase an upgrade for anything less than $100.
Oh, no.
And then the full-blown operating system was $150 or $200. And that was a big deal back 10, 15 years ago whenever this was all taking place. It wasn't that long ago. It was probably 7, 8 years ago that they stopped charging for the operating system, something like that.
Well, you got to think about this logically. Apple makes money off of their hardware. They're what I feel is a little overpriced, but you are getting the operating system, you are getting updates, you are getting something that's not plastic. It is machined aluminum. They have beautiful displays, right? That's the one thing Apple just knocks out of the park is build quality and displays. They kill it. Absolutely kill it. However, with Microsoft, they don't, until they started releasing the Surface and the Surface Pro and all that, they didn't have, and if you look at their Surface series, it's expensive.
Oh yeah, it is.
It is.
I've drooled over that Surface Studio for 2-3 years now.
But it's like $4,000.
Yeah, there's no way I'll ever be able to afford that.
It's just, never say never. But my point is, they haven't supplemented their software with hardware ever.
No.
And now they're starting to build their own hardware. So now does Windows become a premium for people like Dell and HP, and Lord knows Compaq doesn't exist anymore. But, does it become a luxury to Asus and these other guys, and now it costs more money? So now their PCs are more money. They're more expensive.
Well, I'm not 100% sure that Microsoft is even manufacturing these Surface products. That it could be like the Google Pixel line, where they outsource the product itself to somebody else. Like last year, I think it was LG. It may be LG this year as well for the Pixel 3.
Now, Apple doesn't make their own screens.
No,
but they outsource.
But they make their own chips. They make their own motherboards. They make and design them, so they optimize them for the software and vice versa. And that's where I got the entire argument about the Mac OS operating system and the hardware. You look at the tablets and the phones that they create, the iPhone, the iPad, and they have slower chip speeds, less RAM, but they always,
within reason,
most of the time, run smoothly until they are no longer being upgraded.
Yeah. Like now, when they say, OS 12 will, iOS 12 will drop, and it's from this generation forward.
Yeah.
Like you can literally set a clock to when that old generation that's not supported anymore literally will die. Because it's about...
Well, not even die. We've got an iPad mini sitting in the other room right now that is the original iPad mini.
Yeah.
And it's running
iOS
OS 9,
I think.
Yep, and that is the latest operating system that it can get. But it still runs really well. It still runs to the point that even though a lot of the software can't be updated anymore, you could still use it.
Oh yeah, you could use it for surfing the internet.
Surfing the internet, watching YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't think you can use it with like the YouTube app anymore because you have to have a newer version of the operating system.
Probably.
That's the problem that you run into with Apple. It's deprecation.
Well, but it's better than, you had before you went to an Apple phone under extreme distress and pressure from everyone.
Yeah.
You were stuck on like Jelly Bean or something, or one before Jelly Bean.
So when I got that phone, it was running Android L, whatever that was. Lima Bean?
Licorice?
Lollipop.
Lollipop, that's what it is. It's always got to be something sweet.
Yeah, it was Lollipop. And then I got upgraded to Jelly Bean and then Kit Kat. And once I got upgraded to Kit Kat, it ran so poorly with that software that the phone became unusable as a phone. And when I say that...
The dialer wouldn't even come up with it.
When I had, on more than one occasion, I was using it for something other than a phone call. And a phone call came in, and the phone started ringing, but the dialer didn't load in time to answer the phone call.
So, okay. So, let me ask this. Because, this guy was obviously special.
He was definitely a PC, not a Mac.
So... But he was,
and if you get that reference, good for you. If you don't, kids, ask your parents.
Yes. Dude, you're getting a Dale. We had that conversation earlier yesterday.
Dude, you're going to jail.
Well, dude, you're going to jail and getting a Dale. But his main complaint was games. Now, the highly unpaid intern says that the Microsoft products... Excel, PowerPoint, Word function better on a PC. But he was like, well, mine function just fine. I like this. And for me, of course, I'm not a power user of, Excel. I don't need to crunch my numbers so hard they bleed. But
Jacob, call us when you listen to this.
We love you, though. But he was so just
the reviewer.
Yeah, he was just so bent on these games.
I want to distinguish what Robert's trying to say here because I feel like he's not being articulate enough. Robert is saying that the guy reviewing the Mac Mini, one of the main complaints that he had was that there was not a large selection of games for the Mac operating system, which, by the way, is not a fault of the Mac Mini. It's a fault of the Mac operating system.
Correct.
Then, on top of that, the reviewer was saying that the games that did run on the Mac operating system did not run well on the Mac Mini. Now, again, we are talking about the Mac Mini. It is the bottom rung Mac product. It is entry level.
Yeah. It is for someone who is looking to get into the Apple ecosystem without spending a bajillion dollars on a MacBook Pro or whatever. And I wanted one to go in this room, actually, so that I could, have full web browsing experience, be able to look at educational videos and stuff like that without having to bring my, haul my laptop around.
Right.
So this brings me to another question on the list. So we're going to stop talking about the DC with his little paddles and a power. Anyway, would you buy, if Apple was to sell their OS separately and make it available now, and we talked about why this would be a dumb idea.
Well, I don't. We talked about why they would never do it.
Yeah, and we'll
get into that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But would you buy the OS X operating system if it was a standalone product?
Yes.
And run it on a regular
A PC?
hardware, a PC.
Yes.
So now here's why I feel like you will never see that. Apple has loved their operating system to the point that it can run on an i5 processor with 16 gigs of RAM and run like a scalded dog because it's their hardware. It's their software.
Yep.
It is literally optimized to be the best it can possibly be on that hardware. So if you take that operating system that's tailored specifically for that hardware and try to shove it on, a Dell laptop, now Apple's got to worry about third-party drivers for video cards, and what if the network card doesn't show up, and what if the
Now, well, granted, I mean, they still have to worry about that. They've basically taken all of the upgradability of every product they have away.
I'll be interested to see if this new Mac Mini is just you can't touch anything.
I'm sure it's going to be half an inch thick and have 4 USB-Cs on the back or something like that.
And nothing else.
And nothing else. But they used to have to deal with third-party stuff like that because we were talking about this the other day. Whenever I started college, they had the G5 Mac Pros in there, and you could lay the side down. I mean, it was a full-size tower. You could add in cards and change the video cards, and they used to have to deal with that kind of stuff, and they've basically taken all that away. But on top of the third-party cards, you've got to start worrying about things like, okay, now I have to be able to run on not only a dual-core i5. We had to take a break there for just a second. I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but it was something along the lines of they also now have to worry about third-party processors.
True.
Not just right now they've got it locked down to like a dual-core i5, a quad-core i7, and that's it. And then you move into third-party or selling the operating system to run on any hardware, which I'm sure it can do because the
well, if it couldn't, people wouldn't be making Hackintoshes all the time.
Right.
And that used to be a really big thing a few years ago. Was like, I'm going to build a Hackintosh.
Yeah, I'm sure it still is if you get into the actual community and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of want to see if that's still a thing. But so I guess if it was a standalone operating system, there's some hurdles there for Apple, but I feel like that's another revenue stream that they're not tapped into right now.
Yeah,
but I also feel like they're a $1 trillion company and probably don't need.
Yeah, I don't know they may be $1 trillion by now, but they don't need that. I don't think they need the headache. If you think about the problems that Windows run into and how you have to solve those problems, it is a pain. It is not a simple thing. You get into things like hex codes that you have to diagnose with, and looking up specific drivers for specific problems, and an operating system is such a complex piece of software that whenever you try to diagnose a single problem causing this thing to freeze or a blue screen to pop up or hardware not to run properly, it becomes just about impossible.
And then is it a software thing? Is it a hardware thing? Like, you can't troubleshoot. Like, if it's your hardware and your software, well, there you go. You can troubleshoot that. That's an easy peasy fix. But if you're looking at, a GeForce graphics card, and
there's some some Apple hardware that has that.
Oh yeah, there is, but it's specific models.
It's a specific model of GeForce.
It's
something that they've had access to and they can tweak. But selling the operating system as a standalone product also takes away their main support method. It's broken? Okay, we'll give you another one.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you can say, I installed this operating system on this HP hardware and this doesn't work. What are you going to do about it? I'll give you another operating system.
Yeah, I'll give you the same copy you got.
Yeah.
You know, but the same thing with Windows. If you look at Microsoft and you're like, oh, well, it's on a, you know, Dell computer. You know, a Dell Inspiron, whatever, or XPS or Precision. This doesn't work right. What are you going to do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dell says, well, that's a Windows issue.
And Windows or Microsoft says,
nah, that's probably a hardware issue.
Yep.
And so now you're caught in the he said, she said, but it still don't work. Where with Apple, you go back and you go, this doesn't work.
And they go, oh, that's a bug because that's supposed to work. Here's another one.
Yeah.
So that brings me to another thing that I do like some things about the Apple ecosystem as a whole. Mac products, iOS products, that sort of thing. It works really well together. But one of the main things that you never run into is that custom software problem that you run into with Android products and Windows products. I don't know how many times I ran into it with Android whenever I was running it. You know, they can't, whenever Google releases an update, it doesn't just get shipped to all the phones. It's a trickle-down thing. Google products get it first, then the manufacturers of the phones get it, and then they get to tweak it to their own specificity. That's
and decide whether or not you're going to get it.
Yeah, they decide whether or not you're going to get it, regardless of if the hardware can run it. But I ran into the same thing just the other day with that Dell laptop.
Really?
They had written a custom driver for the video card.
See, that's annoying.
Yeah, Dell had written a specific drive, a custom driver for the video card, and the video card manufacturer, NVIDIA, had released several updates since the last update that I was running. But their updater said that I was running custom software or custom drivers for the video card, and they couldn't upgrade it. And I went to Dell website, and Dell said, nope, you're running the standard good old NVIDIA driver, nothing custom about it.
See, that's annoying. That's really, really annoying.
And you'll never run into that on an Apple product.
No. So there's something nice about not having to worry about that. Like, it's just going to work. And, you know, we've had this discussion several times about, you know, because you're a PC guy. You like your Dell XPS, you like your Windows 10, and you just like it. You can't tell me why, other than you just like it. And I can't really tell you why I like Apple other than I like it. The ecosystem works nice.
I don't understand why that's not enough, though. You know?
I don't either.
It's like, you like Windows? Why do you like Windows and not Apple? I just like the way that it works. I'm used to it. It's nice. It gets everything done that I needed to do.
That's not good enough.
That's not good enough. Why do you like Apple? Well, it's really nice. It works. It does everything I needed to do. And those are the same things I just said.
Oh, my God. Okay. I don't know that we're going to have time to cover
what are the other two things?
A stripped-down version of Windows cheaper.
Oh, that just went in with the whole selling the Mac OS as a standalone product. I had this idea a long time ago that if Microsoft, people have been wanting the Microsoft operating system cheaper forever. And an easy way to do that is to strip it down and buy stuff a la carte. You know, it comes with a lot of garbage that people never use.
Oh yeah, strip it down. Don't ship it with WordPad. You want WordPad or an actual word processor? Go buy one.
As an example, don't ship it with WordPad. Don't ship it with Calculator. Don't ship it with a CD burner software.
But that's but then you got to look at Mojave. well, any Apple product, it comes with,
pages and
sticky
numbers.
notes and pages and numbers, and like for most Apple users, pages and numbers and Keynote will do exactly the same thing that Microsoft Office will do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not with all the fancies and everything, but it will get the job done.
Yeah.
And, I built a presentation in Keynote because I like the way the presenter worked.
Yeah.
Presenter looked so much better than a PowerPoint presentation. That, and you could use a Apple remote to an Apple TV to advance your slides. And you didn't have to buy, I don't know that that'll work on, I guess you could use the new Apple TV remote since it's Bluetooth to the...
Aren't they all Bluetooth?
No, the old remote was infrared.
Really?
Yeah, the silver one, I think it was infrared. And, but you could still use it on your MacBook Pro to advance the slides. Like I said, I don't know if this one will do it. I'm going to try, though, now. We'll update you in the next podcast whether or not that works. But, part of me agrees that, Windows should sell a stripped-down version of the software. Or, when they sell it to companies like Dell and HP and, all that, have you be able to pick, what all you want. Do you want a basic version? Do you want the...
well, they kind of do that. They kind of already do that because you've got what you had. XP is a great example of Windows being broken up into different versions that were different prices because XP Home was like $100 or something, brand new. And it didn't come with a lot of stuff.
It didn't support full-blown networking either.
Yeah.
Which was a...
I mean, if you're going to leave some stuff out, maybe not networking.
Anyway, that's a whole new topic. Now, this...
Last thing on that topic, though. The reason that they don't charge anything for the Mac operating system is because they don't make the money off the Mac operating system. They make the money off the hardware. Microsoft doesn't have that option. They're not selling the hardware.
So, my question is, would you rather pay a premium for premium hardware? Because you can sit there and tell me, and this will be my last point about this, otherwise this podcast is going to be like 2 hours long. This podcast, I don't know when it'll drop because we're going to do another one for the Apple event on Monday? Tuesday? Anyway.
October 30th.
Yes, that will drop the Sunday, probably the Sunday after that event. Maybe we'll drop one in the middle of the week as a special.
Yeah.
Let us rant about Apple.
Maybe a 15-minute.
Yeah,
Apple rant.
just a quick rant. But so my last point on this podcast, and we'll wrap it up, is you can't tell me that all chips are created equal. So, and what I mean by that is you can't tell me that a Western Digital blue solid state hard drive is not better than some no-name solid state hard drive. Yes, they may get chips from the same manufacturer and blah, blah, blah. But if that manufacturer has a B, and C run chip, hey, these come off the assembly line with no glitches. These have no glitches, but they're not our A-grade chips. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Is that a thing?
I don't know if that's a thing, but I am thinking about the manufacturing process as a whole. Since Apple has such a
stranglehold.
I was looking for a better word.
Use it.
Looking for a better word.
You own that word.
But since Apple has such a stranglehold on their manufacturing process, they have tighter control. Even if they did get B or C grade chips, let's assume that's a thing, right?
Hey,
who knows?
Somebody
does.
That's the way they do the screens. You got
I know
OEM,
that's how they do the
A, B, and C.
But let's assume they have a B or a C grade chip that gets slipped into the batch. They have such tight manufacturing processes in place that it may not matter that they didn't get a top of the line grade A chip.
Well, my point was going to be that, you know, the care and the precision that went into building the solid state drive that they use in their computer. Let's say that it's not just the same old Western Digital solid state drive. Let's say it goes through a different manufacturing process, uses a higher grade silicon flux capacitor or some crap.
That's not a thing.
To generate the power of the 2.1 gigawatts that it requires.
Well, you know what, though? You just reminded me of something.
And why would Western Digital have a blue drive and a green drive and a black drive?
Yeah,
like, if there was no difference.
There's got to be differences. But
it's the colors.
You just reminded me of something. The original Xbox that shipped 100 years ago. Kids, if you don't know what an Xbox is, ask your parents. But
they probably still have one.
The original Xbox, whenever it shipped, had a Pentium 3 processor, like a 550 megahertz Pentium 3 processor, and a
smoking
garbage video card. But it was designed
to operate
that at the maximum possible speed, and that's what the Macs do, sort of. I mean, there's the whole i9 debacle right now where it's thermal throttling.
Yeah,
because they didn't put enough.
My MacBook Pro 15-inch. You can hear it throttle. Like, you can hear the fans kick up, and you can visibly feel. Anyway, you can visibly feel the throttling going on, but it's not bad. And I only notice it in certain programs. Like, if I have InDesign open or something like that, and the fans rev up real high, you can kind of tell there's a little lag to it. But it's not bad. Like, if I'm doing video or something like that, these fans it literally sounds like this thing's going to take off and go through the roof.
My Dell that I'm using, it'll just kick up those fans for no reason. Like, I could have Chrome open.
It'll suck crap off the floor.
It will. I'll have, like, Chrome open and nothing else, and it'll be like, zzz, zzz, and you can just hear it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's about to take off. And I'm like, what are you doing? What?
Why? It's just Chrome.
I'm not even looking at YouTube or anything, like, mildly intense.
You know, it's like some cryptocurrency thing in the background that somebody's planted that's just
Thanks, crypto guys.
Mining bitbucks the whole time.
Bitbucks isn't a thing.
It is totally a thing. Anyway, find us online. We have to end it right there. Find us online. Purple Tie Guys everywhere. PurpleTieGuys.com. Facebook.com/Purple Tie Guys. Instagram @Purple Tie Guys. Share some sweet, sweet Apple photos.
And we'll see you at some point in the near future.
Bye.